How to write about similes. The word simile comes from the Latin similes, which means like, resembling, and of the same kind. You can find similes in many pieces of literature. They're used to compare one thing to another, to clarify and enhance a poetic image. A good way to spot a simile is to keep an eye out for the words like and as, which signal that a comparison is being made. Here are some examples of similes and how they might be analyzed. You'll notice that each analysis begins with a description of the two things being compared, followed by an explanation of the effect of the comparison. The black sewing machine on the table in front of you stitches the pale fabric like a dark hen pecking at scattered food. That's an excerpt from Edward Hopper's East Side Interior by Jason Heroux. In this simile, the stitching mechanism of a sewing machine is compared to the movement of a hen pecking at food. As a result, the hen seems to take on the properties of a machine. Its feeding time seems cold and mechanical. The sewing machine, meanwhile, becomes animated and alive. Its job, to join fabric with stitches, nourishes the machine. I'm afraid of the grass, the way it twitches in wind like the tails of mice caught in traps. From the poem Fear Diary by Jason Heroux. In this simile, the grass, waving violently in the wind, is compared to the frantic tails of mice caught in traps. Normally, when one sees grass swayed by the wind, the effect is calming. But this simile brings a sense of violence to that peaceful image. The reader imagines hundreds of mice caught in deadly traps underground, their tails writhing in agony above the earth's surface. The narrator's fear is made vivid in the reader's imagination. Some smoke rises from a chimney, like a clump of gray hair pulled from a drain. Another simile from Fear Diary by Jason Heroux. In this simile, the rising smoke from a chimney is compared to gray hair pulled from a clogged drain. Both chimney smoke and clumps of wet hair are undesirable, dirty, and just plain gross. Comparing the two simply emphasizes this point. Also, if the smoke is like hair pulled from a drain, the reader might ask, what is pulling the smoke into the sky? Perhaps there is a mysterious human presence responsible for the rising hot air. If you enjoyed reading these similes and you'd like to read more, be sure to check out the work of Canadian poet Jason Heroux.